Hello everyone, I'm the Self-Wind. I've just blown in. And today we are back with more Seduce Me 2, The Demon War. Let's get into it, shall we? I barely heard him finish his sentence as I suddenly became dizzy and collapsed to the ground, immediately worn out. Oh yeah, that's right. Last time we passed the Brute Demon's test of adulthood. Or as much as he was comfortable letting a human attempt. Go us.
What the hell did you do?
Exactly, Diana.
I was training her.
Exactly, Sergeant.
And that requires a means into an egg?
Maybe.
Are you judging my training methods?
I think she is.
I'm judging your common sense.
Well, I mean, that's always in short supply everywhere. I could barely understand what was going on around me before I opened my eyes. Despite my vision being blurred, I could see Diana above me, feeling her knees beneath my head, and Sergeant on the other side, arms crossed, which you can totally tell by this art. Diana's hand was petting through my hair, where I felt waves of light energy pass over my head into the rest of my body. It felt calming and comforting after using so much rage energy, and I had to hold back a moan from escaping me. As my vision began to clear up, I could see Diana and Sergeant scowling at each other.
She is a human. That
Yep.
kind of mental exertion could have killed her.
No, I think I'm tougher than you give me credit for, lady.
She lived.
Exactly. I lived gloriously.
Barely.
Shh. Don't take away my achievement. I could barely open my mouth before Diana gently lowered my head to the ground and stood up, walking around my body and marching at Sergeant.
That was an unforgivably reckless choice. How am I supposed to trust you with an army if I can't trust you to take care of one human?
Whoa, okay, down, girl. I don't know what else is going on today, but you're kinda being crazy.
Watch it, succubus. I trained our men well.
Okay, dude, I don't know what your problem is, but you getting an attitude with her is not helping. You should be trying to de-escalate right now.
It doesn't mean anything if you don't have the sense to see the error of this choice.
Suddenly, Sergeant swung a fist toward Diana, only to be blocked by her forearm, with insane reaction speed. Barely a second that passed as dark purple flame engulfed Diana's free hand, while it rammed in Sergeant's stomach.
Gah!
I kinda wish we could see this. Oh, okay, you've gone crazy. Before my eyes, Sergeant was flying back and slammed into a tree, falling at its base. Diana, however, became engulfed with black and purple flame, as a scowl on her face contorted to one I recognized from the human world.
How dare you attack me? I am the one who honored your people, and you have the gall to turn and strike at me. Where does your loyalty lie?
Aw, so even in this verse you did the dance in the harem outfit. That's so cool. What the hell? What was happening?
You truly thought you could hurt me. I've been
Well-
fighting the Demon Lord himself for over 10 years.
Wow.
You're nothing compared to him.
That is some dedication on your part, lady. And this is also why I say she'll make a great queen. Sergeant looked up at Diana with a pained glare of his own, as Diana turned and took a single step away from him.
I will overlook that act of treason this once, but know your place, brute.
Wow, I believe she literally gave a smackdown there, both physical and verbal. As Diana's face turned away from Sergeant, I could see a look of change in Diana's eyes, going from pure arrogance to sudden realization and regret. However, she shut her eyes. How can you tell? Her hair's always over one. And let a silent sigh as she took another step away from us. With that, Diana walked away, her flame-like aura completely gone from her body. Sergeant, however, didn't move and simply watched until she entered the castle and vanished from sight as she did. Sergeant let out a sigh. I slowly sat up, taking in what had happened. What was wrong with Diana? Why did she act like that? Why was Sergeant so on the offensive? I looked over at my trainer to see him slowly stand. As I did, I noticed a very heavily burnt mark where Diana had punched him. Again, it would be nice to have this reflected in the art. Are you okay?
I'll be fine.
Yep, I'm just gonna run a lap and walk it off because I'm that much of a badass. I could tell that Diana had gotten under his skin. I was concerned as to why Diana acted that way she did. But as Sergeant stood and shook his head, he looked at me.
You alright?
I'm great. You got your ass kicked, though, boy. I nodded, feeling much better than I had before. Diana's magic must have healed me from whatever the test effects were. I quickly stood up and grinned. You got your ass kicked. I mean, so what now? Sergeant took a moment to look at me, but I knew that I had to take his mind off of Diana to get back to properly training. I wasn't mad at him about the test. It gave me a good punching bag. He then let out a small laugh and uncrossed his arms.
You should have been born a demon.
I should have!
The will to be one.
You know, in one verse, I'm pretty sure I am a demon and I'm ruling. I couldn't help but feel flattered at the compliment. As I smiled, the sergeant walked over to the dummy I was beating on earlier and set it up.
You proved yourself by passing the test.
Yay!
Now, we'll take the time to master what skills you have.
Cool. Let's go. I walked over and stood in front of the dummy, ready for his instruction. I was able to defend myself and fight, but was the goal of this entire process? I spent the rest of the day sparring the dummy, Dantler, and the sergeant himself to sharpen my skills and make them better. I was completely exhausted by the time I sent back to my room. Entering my room, I felt heavy. To think that I had attacked Erik that morning was horrifying. I could have hurt him. I didn't want to hurt him. No, we never want to hurt the ones we love. Doesn't mean we sometimes don't accidentally do it. Then again, I had thought he was the demon lord. Because I'm dumb and don't remember there's fricking magic in this world even though there's a spirit in my head. God, I miss being competent. I had every reason to be frightened and to try to fight. But if he had appeared for real, would I have been able to stop him? Maybe. I was training, yes, and also eating my Wheaties. But only to defend myself, not to kill anyone. Oh, I'm pretty sure with the amount of rage I have worked up right now, we could kill him.
I can help, you know?
Ugh, why? Go away. Huh? The spirit was enticing me again. The room around me felt frozen in time once again. Ugh. Stop using words that close together. There's no reason to use again twice. You can help me with what?
With a lot of things, actually. If you want, I can give you really cool powers.
Really cool powers. Sex with my sexy fiancé Incubus. Really cool powers. Incubus sex. You know what? I'm gonna choose the Incubus, whom I love and have a relationship with. But thank you. Why are you being so friendly? Exactly. All the skepticism poured on.
Huh? I always wanted to help you.
Bullshit. This spirit was making little sense. I was already training, and I was completely tired. I closed my eyes and looked away. I can take care of myself.
Well, if you need any extra power, let me know. I can keep nasty people away, just like last time.
My fiancé is not nasty. Well, I mean, he is, but he's in a way that I sanction. I don't want your help, but you'll get hurt. That you'll get hurt? Well, that might actually be in my favor. My words seemed to silence the spirit for a moment before it spoke again, as if unresolved.
I still want to help you. You
So?
shouldn't be pushed around by that icky man.
Hey, I like that icky man. Erik isn't pushing me around.
It's only a matter of time, though.
Go away, you obnoxious thing. I looked at the spirit, somewhat insulted. You'd really doubt my ability to protect myself? What do you mean?
You're a human. Humans aren't as powerful as demons. Especially not the evil man.
Yes, but Erik is not evil. Before my eyes, the room around me shifted to the interior of a dungeon. I panicked, looking around while being trapped in place. Smoke slowly eased into the space from the dark corners, making me cough and wheeze. What was the spirit doing? Stop it!
Use my magic!
Don't know how. This is not in the tutorial. What? I felt a soft glow in my chest. For some reason, I felt calm and the air became easier to breathe in. Was this the spirits doing? Soon, fire began to peek in, and I was surrounded in flames. I wrapped my arms around myself, trying to lean away from the heat.
A human can't survive in the demon world.
Sure I
But I
can.
can help you. I can protect you.
Spirit, I'm actually doing better when you're not around. Or at the very least, when you're quiet. Although, very nice touch with the fire sounds in the background. Stop this vision now! This was getting ridiculous. How could this be happening? Was I somehow in the dream? This was out of control, and I needed to find some form of freedom. All of a sudden, the flames around me vanished, and I was back in my room, staring into empty space with the spirit in the middle.
Why won't you let me help you? I'm stuck in your body.
Yeah, and maybe you should work on getting out. I don't need your help. I have Erik. As well as my training. I used to be competent, you know. Those words slipped out. A brief silence followed before the spirit spoke again.
The icky man is related to the evil man, right?
Yeah. And Erik ran away from his father. They don't like each other. The evil man has given Erik every single opportunity and reason not to like him. Erik? That came out of nowhere. I nodded, knowing what she asked. Erik is the Demon Lord's son. Yeah, that was well established last time. ... question mark. What? Was the spirit concerned that Erik was evil too? Ignore. I'm gonna defend my love, because screw you. Just because he's the Demon Lord's son doesn't make him a bad guy.
Does he really love you?
That's what I keep telling myself. I stared at the spirit, trying to see where the question was going. I was trying to sway me, so I smiled and nodded. Erik indeed loved me more than anything. He does, I know it.
And if he doesn't? What if he's lying?
He's not that good of a liar. He wouldn't lie to me.
He could be. Demons always lie to get what they want. I was lied to.
Wait, who lied to you? Let's back this up and have the actual real conversation we should be having. You were?
Someone, a person, made a promise to protect me. But they didn't.
Okay. But what does this have to do with Erik? The room became darker and colder as the spirit began to suddenly cry. I felt horrible listening to it sweep. Before I could comfort it, though, it vanished into the air, leaving me in the room as time began to move forward once more. I let a sigh and rubbed my head. This was getting ridiculous. Agreed. When I was going to be free of the spirit. I was becoming more anxious by the day. Even as Erik came into the room, I felt my worry about the situation grow. Ew, you're shirtless again. Very nice look, sweetie. I barely noticed as Erik finally entered the room. He slowly entered, most likely cautious from what had happened that morning. As memories of what happened appeared in my mind, I couldn't help but frown. I had attacked him. The spirit was trying to make me hurt the man I loved, and I couldn't have felt more ashamed for falling for its trick. Yeah, it's like I was kind of being stupid. I looked up at Erik with sad eyes. surprising him as he closed the door at last behind him and walked to join me on the bed. Erik, I'm sorry.
Love, it's all right.
No, it's kinda not. Erik wrapped his arms around me and nuzzled my head. I closed my eyes and relaxed into the embrace, feeling him gently drain me of energy. I didn't fight back. I felt no reason to.
I know it's not your fault.
Thank you. But I still almost hurt you this morning. My guilt consumed me as I buried my face in Erik's chest. Erik, in reply, ran his hand over my head and held me close. I was upset, and I had every reason to be. I could only hope that the spirit would be taken out soon. The morning was filled with concern as Diana had gathered us in the war room urgently. Apparently, she had found a way to expel the spirit from my body.
Are you sure this will work?
I hope so.
Indeed, this ritual is highly dangerous, but
Cool.
it should permanently sever the ties the spirit has on her body.
About time. Let's go.
What do you need for this ritual? Is there a way to make it not as dangerous?
Also a valid question, Carrie. Thank you.
I've already looked into finding a safer method. The price for it is sadly too high to justify.
Okay. What is it? I mean, I'm a battery of energy right now.
What is the price then?
Let me deal with it when it comes. For now, we must prepare. Training today will be unnecessary. We need to prepare everything, and it will take a good majority of the day.
Okay. Cool. Sorry, I am kind of uprooting your day. The day?
Indeed. However, once the spirit is severed, we can trap it and see why it was so keen on attaching itself to you.
Cool. Let's do it.
It's strange.
Yeah,
Why
it
would a
is.
demon spirit pick a human to latch itself onto?
I know, right? It's so weird.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get going!
Exactly. Let's do this.
What do we need to do?
Good question.
You all need to be here in case something goes awry. As for you,
Me? Diana looked to me and gestured to the table, which is cleared save for a small pillow.
lie down, and I'll prepare the rest.
Cool. I nodded and walked to the table. Erik, being the gentleman he was, helped me up to the surface. I gently leaned back and got comfortable, shifting the pillow beneath my head.
She will lock herself within her mind and speak to the spirit.
Okay.
The spirit is angered enough. It will take over the body. Basically, we're going to force the spirit to gain complete control of her body.
Are we sure about this plan? I instantly sat up as everyone else turned towards Diana in shock.
And why would we want that?
Good question. Diana pressed her lips together, seeing the sudden flare of anxious anger around her, before she turned to me.
Once the spirit has full control, then I will perform a spell that will rip it from your body, leaving it open for possession. Being that your soul will still be in the body, you'll regain full control after the fact.
Okay. Cool. You got this.
Wait, so what happens if you accidentally pull her soul out?
Well, I'm fucked, I guess.
That's what makes this spell dangerous. It takes a large amount of energy and will only work if everything goes smoothly.
Which
I
means
won't
it's
know
not.
for sure whose soul I'll be pulling until you wake up.
Just gonna save. I'm sure we'll be fine. Just fine.
You're not even sure it'll work.
Damien, you're really not helping. That didn't ease my worries. Diana glared at Damien, who simply gave a cold stare back.
I would not suggest reading my mind again, bastard son.
Agreed. Although not the bastard part. She is kinda royalty, and y'all are kind of exiles. In her kingdom.
Now's not the time to bicker. We need to make sure this goes smoothly.
Thank you, James, ever the voice of reason.
If it goes wrong, the spirit could absorb her soul.
I'll be fine. Why is everyone worrying so much?
What?
Sweetie, calm down. I suddenly froze in place. The spirit could absorb me. What do you mean? Diana sighed and crossed her arms, pressing her lips together once again. However, her eyes made it clear that she believed this ritual would work.
The spirit within you is a very powerful being, despite it being a child. It is a demon, but we don't know what kind of demon it is. So we have to assume that it is the worst kind. A soul eater.
And we're putting in a position where it can literally eat my soul. Good job. A soul eater?
A very rare breed of demon who feeds on both energy and souls.
Yay!
It doesn't matter what kind of soul it is, as long as it's a soul, it's edible.
Oh, goody. I attract all the weird shit, don't I?
They're only as powerful as the souls they absorb, which makes them the worst kind of demon.
Agreed.
But didn't they die out long ago?
You'd think. That this feels like a race that would be hunted down and wiped out.
As I said, we don't know if it is one or not.
Exactly.
But we have to assume that it is for safety.
Exactly. I'd rather be prepared than not. Diana glared daggers into my soul, as if she were trying to glare at the spirit within me instead. Or maybe she wished to instill fear into me. I couldn't tell.
It will offer you power, but if you take it, then it will absorb your soul in exchange.
Okay,
the wording
good to
of its
know.
offer will grant the demon full power over your body, making it the owner.
Ah. Okay, we got this then. Just say no. Erik gently took my hand and looked at me with more than concern burning in his eyes. He was worried and scared. Sweetie, it's gonna be okay. Comfort him time. I gently caressed his cheek. I needed to not only comfort myself, but I needed to show Erik that everything would be alright. Sure, there were doubts about this whole ordeal, but I needed to do this. Yeah, I want this thing out now. Erik gently held my hand and kissed over my knuckles, slowly calming down. It would be alright. I had to mentally prepare. I closed my eyes and took a few breaths before looking to Diana. I'm ready. Diana nodded as I slowly leaned back and relaxed once again on the table. Erik still held my hand, waiting to be told to let go. Surprisingly, Diana didn't request it of him. Yeah, this is kind of surprising.
Keep holding her hand. If something happens, you must get into her mind and aid her.
Exactly, sweetie. Come be my knight once more. Erik nodded, as did I. Diana hovered a hand over my face, my gaze pinned on her palm. What was she doing?
Close your eyes and sleep. This will seem like moments for you, but it will be hours for us.
Alright, I hope you got the stamina to pull this off, lady. Who am I kidding? I know she does. I nodded and closed my eyes. Almost as soon as I closed my eyes, again, different words. Get a freaking... I'll say dictionary, but I know that's not it. Yeah. Seriously, though, use different words. This is such bad writing. Thesaurus. I think that's what I'm looking for. Anyway, some sort of energy began to take hold of me. Was this Diana's doing, or the spirit's? My nerves began to tingle and my body felt light as a feather. But stiff as a board? I like that game. Energy ebbed and flowed through my body, and I felt like I was falling through water. The space around me became thick with calm and almost emptiness. Was this a forced dream? Could be. Probably.
I know what you want to do.
Good. Then GTFO. Finally, the spirit made itself known. The space around me brightened to reveal a patch of forest. The image of my surroundings flickered and swayed slightly, reminding me that this was only an illusion in my head. In the center of the space, however, appeared the spirit in its orb shape. Would I ever see what the spirit actually looked like? Time will tell. I finally walked over and stood before the spirit. We're doing this so you can get out of my body.
But what if I don't want to leave?
Well, you don't get a vote. You're kind of a freeloader right now. I suddenly became afraid. The spirit didn't want to leave? The air became cold as the spirit bobbed up and down in place casually.
In here, I'm safe from the evil man. He can't find me here, and he can't hurt me.
Yeah, but I'm not safe from you, and you're interrupting my life. But you don't belong in my body, but we're going to kill the evil man, but I've hurt you too. You know what? We're gonna kill the evil man. Promise. The spirit stopped bobbing in the air and pulsed a wave of energy, shaking the forest around us gently.
How can you kill the evil man?
Oh, I'm the main character. Did you not know? I have protagonist powers. We've been preparing for days. The spirit circled around my form in observation.
I can help you, though. I really, really can.
But I don't want your help. I want you to go away. I'm not listening anymore.
No, listen, I can protect you from being hurt, really.
No, so far you have yet to prove that. The only thing you've done is fuck up my relationship. The forest began to quake and suddenly shift to a side I hadn't seen in a while. Ah, the original set. My heart suddenly became light as I gazed at the room around me. My room.
My dear.
Oh, I'm willing to bet this is not who we think it is. Suddenly, I felt a pair of arms wrap around me. They felt like snakes, slowly sliding along my body, with one across my chest and the other around my waist. Both pressed my back tightly against a warm and somehow familiar body. I felt disgusted by the act, but I found no strength to fight back. A head caressed my shoulder and the side of my neck with a torturously slow touch.
My sweet, delicious bride-to-be. You'll spoil a demon such as me.
Come on, let me have some common sense rolls here. Erik? Oh my... Why is my character so stupid? Every single time falls for it.
I can help you fight him off.
Ugh, die. This was an illusion. Thank you! I passed the check. This was some sort of trick to make me believe in the spirit. I knew it. But the fear within my body became real as Erik's fingers danced over my body. I didn't want this. A warm glow in my chest began to pulsate as a lavender wave of energy pushed against the arms around me.
What the?
Use my magic! Get him off of you!
I could do that! On its own, the magic in my chest burst forth, forming a barrier around my body and pushing the illusionary Erik away from me. I barely turned in time to see the image fade, like dust blown away by wind. I never imagined seeing Erik vanish before my eyes, but I became witness to the illusion of it, causing my heart to feel torn. I felt tears collect in my eyes, but my mind became chaotic. What was I doing? Stop it! I knew what was happening. The spirit was trying to show me an example. I wouldn't let it influence me. My scream echoed and shook the room.
Princess!
That sounds like my guy. Hi, sweetie. Thank you for coming. The image around me quickly reformed the forest from before, and I watched as Erik appeared from the brush. The spirit quickly moved to be near my side as Erik glared at the spirit.
That's enough!
Exactly. Agreed.
No! I won't do it!
Yes. Yes, you will. Erik's glare could almost kill. As his enthralled tendrils appeared around him, the spirit began to pulse defensively.
Then you leave me no choice.
Get him, sweetie. Erik lunged forward and charged at the spirit, faster than I'd ever seen him move. I mean, I kind of feel bad because it's a kid at the same time. This kid has caused me so much pain. The spirit put up a large barrier around itself, similar to the barrier it had on me when Stadio tried to expel it. Erik's tendrils in rapid succession began to jab and slam themselves into the barrier, attempting to break it. I get this scene is serious, but it's like, there's some imagery here, isn't there, folks?
No, no, no,
I had to stop this. I didn't want the spirit to get hurt, but I didn't want Erik to get hurt either. Well, I'm more than on board with the spirit getting a little hurt. Stop it! I ran for them, needing them to stop. The spirit needed to be angry, but not like this.
Princess, stay back!
I won't do it! No!
The barrage continued without mercy.
Listen to me! I can help you! Don't do this!
With each strike Erik threw at the spirit, the barrier quaked and pulsed with energy. Over and over, the sound of magic clashing reverberated through the space we were in, making the imagery around us vibrate. Erik's face hardened into a look of pure determination and anger. He truly wished to help me and protect me. Aw, look at my sweetie being bloodthirsty. But the spirit was still a child. What was I going to do? We had to make it take control. Attack the spirit, let Erik keep going. I'm gonna jump in this fight. I've been training. I got this. I wouldn't give up, so I had to aggravate it as well. If making it angry would make it take control, then that was what I had to do. I charged forward. I slammed a fist into the barrier, feeling a hot burn against my skin. However, I knew that I wasn't truly injured. The spirit wouldn't dare hurt me like that.
What are you doing?
Trying to get you out. I'm sorry? I'm not. Erik increased the speed of his attacks, and soon our barrage on the barrier began to break through as it began to crack and fade with each punch. The spirit started to whimper.
No, please.
Get out! My heart felt like whimpering as well, but enough was enough. I had to fix this. With the final attack, Erik and I landed a blow together, smashing through the barrier and impacting the spirit. To my surprise, the attack landed against what felt like a glass orb. Huh! As the final blow made impact with the spirit, a rush of bright light engulfed the area. As it did, I felt my form spasm and flicker, causing me to look down at my hands. Through the blinding light, I could see them trembling as they slowly began to turn transparent. Please say this did not go pear-shaped on me. What the? I looked up to see Erik rushing for me, panic written all over his face. What was happening? I began to run for him, as his body began to glow a deeper red and purple color. Erik! Within seconds, Erik reached me and wrapped his arms firmly around me, surrounding us both in a red glow. I felt safe, and the transparency in my hands faded away.
I've got you! Don't let go of me!
I can live with this. I nodded and gripped Erik tightly, feeling something try to pull me away. I shut my eyes, focusing on staying close to Erik, digging my nails into his vest and shirt. I pulled myself against Erik's chest. My breath felt as if it were trying to escape from my lungs, but Erik gently moved a hand to tilt my head and covered my mouth with his. I felt him breathe and replace the air I had lost, desperate to keep me alive. Was I dying? At last, the pull on me stopped, and the world around us grew dark. The forest was gone. The spirit was gone. We were safe. As Erik pulled away and looked down at me with a small, slow smile, I felt happy and relieved. I had been saved from whatever the spirit tried to do, and I was thankful to him for rescuing me when I needed him. Aww, he really is Prince Erik. I might have been strong. Not in this verse. But being in Erik's arms always made me feel stronger. Erik and I collapsed into each other, closing our eyes and escaping the depths of my mind at last. I wanted to rest a while longer. I felt my body slowly come back to life as I awakened, as if from a dream. My eyes were blinded by the light of the room, but slowly adjusted so that I could see everyone staring at me in relief.
She did it.
Yeah, I did.
They did.
Yep, yes we did. Also good phrasing, Damien.
Oh my stars and garters.
Exactly, Twilla. Diana, ... I slowly sat up, rubbing my head and looking around. From everyone's faces, no one had rested. How long had I been out? I'm gonna guess a good long while. As I thought of Erik, I looked to my side to see him slowly rising from his sleep as well, still holding my hand. I smiled, remembering how he had sat by my bedside the day Diana came for him. Nostalgia hit me hard as I pulled Erik gently to me and wrapped my arms around him.
Love?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's me. I'm here, Erik. My heart felt like singing 1,000 songs. This was all too amazing, and I was as joyful as could be. There was no hint of the spirit left within my body, and I could tell that everything was all right now. I was free to show Erik how much I loved him. Erik wrapped his arms around me and buried his face in my neck. Relieved as well.
I'm so happy.
Me too, sweetie. Me too. Me too. I ignored the giggles and sighs around us. All I cared about was Erik in that moment. Diana, however, wasn't so subtle in wanting to interrupt our moment. Gosh darn it, girl! I would think as a succubus you would appreciate this. Erik and I looked over at Diana. Seeing her exhausted expression from her eyes, I could tell she had spent a lot of energy and was responsible for that.
Glad to see that it worked, and that you two are okay.
Thank
now,
you.
If you'll excuse me, I must rest.
Okay, you should go do that. Diana said nothing more as she turned to leave the room. I stopped her. Diana. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Aw. Hard to believe in the first game this would ever be an outcome for us. With that, Diana and the other rebel leaders left the room, leaving the incubi and their wives with us.
Still, we should take some time to do some last-minute training and preparations before heading to bed. We leave first thing in the morning.
Cool. We got this. Everyone nodded in agreement. I, however, felt the events had just occurred weighing me down, and I tiredly lowered my head. I'll just head to the room if that's all right.
Huh? All right. I'll be there soon.
Thanks. See you soon. I nodded and waved to the others before heading towards my room and making my way to the bed that called my name. Wait, this is magic. It might actually be calling me. I began to make my way back to my room, but stopped as I heard the sound of whispered voices sneak out through the barely open door.
So, we're all in agreement?
We have to. We don't have any choice anymore.
What now?
It will be for the better, I'm sure.
Huh?
Indeed.
What now? I peeked into the room to see the interior of the library where the 4 rebel leaders stood in a circle. Sergeant leaned against the fireplace mantel, while Rabbit and Shadow sat in 2 empty chairs. Faye, however, floated to and fro from side to side in anxiousness. What were they talking about? I was so engrossed in figuring out what was happening in the room that I didn't notice a figure coming up behind me and pushing me into the room. Oops. I failed my stealth roll. Yeah!
Commander, a spy.
Hi! Also, Dan, you're being real D right now.
Huh? Human?
Yeah, after all this time, I think you would call me Ariel. Just saying. It's an easy name to pronounce. I grimaced, now out in the open. The 4 stared at me with cold eyes, as if they were ready to send me back to the human world as a corpse, rather than going through with the siege. I looked up at all of them as I slowly rose to my feet, eyeing each leader, and as I considered running for the door. However, they each looked to each other in contemplation.
Say, you didn't hear anything, did you?
No, I'm going to my room. Bye-bye. No, I swear.
What was the last thing you heard?
I just want to go to my room. I don't remember. Something about being for the better. Something about not having a choice. I don't remember. The group raised their eyebrows in unison at me, unconvinced. Damn! Why do I keep failing my skill checks? I suddenly felt the guard of each leader behind me, readying their weapons. What the hell? Were they seriously going to kill me for walking by and eavesdropping? Yeah, I think they are.
Whoa! Hold on, guys!
Thank you, Faye, unlikely voice of reason. I felt the guards back away from me slowly, most likely still cautious of me. I let out a small sigh, happy that I wasn't going to die, at least not immediately. Rabbit, however, looked to me with an ear twitching in curiosity.
Let us ask first. Do you know what has been truly happening with Diana?
Not a clue. I looked to Rabbit, knowing what she meant. Diana had been acting oddly, and it was not boding well. The more I saw her, I could tell that something was seriously weighing her down or influencing her words. Yeah, but what does that have to do with this meeting? As I answered, the other demons looked once again at each other, before Shadow stepped forward nonchalantly.
Let's not play the ignorance game.
But I'm
We're going
good
to
at
assassinate
it.
the succubus when the war is over.
What? What?
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, seriously, what the fuck?
Way to just blurt it out!
There's no use in hiding it. We don't know how much she has heard.
True. I became massively confused. Why were they going to kill her? How were they even going to do it? Why, what good would come out of killing her? Rabbit stood and walked to the fireplace, staring into the open flames. I could tell I was about to get an answer, so I listened intently. Want to know why they were planning Diana's murder.
Diana, we fear, has become corrupted.
Of course. Corrupted? What do you mean?
Meaning, she's going batshit crazy like the Demon Lord!
Ah! Okay, I can understand this fear. Go on. I furrowed my eyebrows. That couldn't be. She seemed mostly fine, save for a few instances here and there. Sergeant, reading my face, pushed himself off of the mantel and stood up straight, reminding me of his power within his stance.
Human, you hate the Demon Lord as much as we do, correct?
Yep, pretty much. You know I do, sir. I glared at Sergeant's stupid question. Of course I hated him. He had trapped me here and forced me, and the ones I loved, to join this war. There was no reason to even remotely like him. At my glare, Faye swooped in between me and Sergeant, waving their arms frantically.
Listen, we're not trying to make you mad, but... well...
Yes?
This is ridiculous.
Agreed. Shadow stood from his seat, now clearly irritated, and stepped toward me.
The succubus has gone mad, and if we don't end her life before she takes the throne, then she will become as mad as the Demon Lord.
Are you sure?
There is no saving her. Understand?
No, because I don't know what you've tried, and... I honestly don't know what you've tried, and in this playthrough, I have not gotten to know any of you that well.
Oh, come on, Shadow! Seriously?
Agreed. Come on, Faye. Double team him.
No, this is beyond unnecessary. All three of you are complicating the matter when all that needs to be stated is the truth.
But how can that be? How is Diana mad like the Demon Lord? None of this made sense. Diana seemed mostly right in her head. However, she was strong enough to lead an army and help me survive until now. She even aided the incubi. These weren't the actions of a madwoman. I mean, you say that, but there is a war on, and she spent so much time on us and the incubi that, yeah, she may have been avoiding much bigger pressing matters. Shadow rolled his eyes, went back to his seat, as Faye put their hands behind their back, swaying a bit in the air.
Well, here's the thing. Here in the demon world, emotions and stuff can be uber powerful.
Agreed.
Things like extreme grief or euphoria can even become energies on their own, while other feelings become well, they can become very, very bad things.
Okay. Oh, like madness.
Yeah. Madness is more than just a head mind thingy. Here in this world, it's like a leech or a virus. When a demon catches it, madness just grows and grows until it consumes them. Like it did with the Demon Lord.
Ah. Okay. So, has anyone ever figured out a counter for it, and why aren't we using it if they have? Taking the new information in, I looked to the floor, thinking about the Demon Lord, and how psychotic he was said to have become. He waged wars and apparently enjoyed burning down kingdoms and slaughtering the innocent. Yeah, but wasn't he always kind of like that? If that was how far madness would take a demon, then I feared for anyone who was capable of falling into it.
You can become mad in multiple ways. By being born mad, or being infected by it. Diana has fought the Demon Lord head on multiple times during the past 10 years. It was inevitable that she would catch the affliction.
Okay, you're starting to make more sense. Go on. You can catch madness? How is that possible? Come on, mate, keep up. They already explained this.
We don't know, but this wouldn't be the first time someone who used to be sane went mad because they were around another crazy demon.
Okay, so it's like a cold. Gotcha. There was an uneasiness in the room. Something told me that none of them believed that that was the true cause. There's more, isn't there?
Huh?
I became bold. If Diana had to die, question mark there for me, then there had to be a solid reason, and the madness excuse wasn't enough. Why were they planning it if none of them truly believed it? Maybe you guys are the mad ones. You ever think about that? It's not just because she's mad, isn't it? Something else is wrong. The rebel leaders became silent, letting the tension lay in the air in plain view, and giving me my answer. I was right. There was more to the story.
That succubus doesn't deserve the throne. Plain and simple.
Ouch. I looked at Sergeant, surprised at his words. As he looked at me, I could see a world of anger behind his eyes.
This world needs a real leader on the throne. Not some self-entitled princess who assumes everything is hers just because of her rank in society.
Here's the thing. If I had not done Diana's path in the other game, I would agree with him 100%. However, having done that and, having outside knowledge, I 100% disagree. You really think that of her?
I do. The moment I swore my alliance to this rebellion, I watched her, and I don't like what I see. She's emotional and she has too much power. Nothing about her taking the throne is honorable.
Okay, one, emotions aren't bad. I would much rather have a leader with empathy and understanding emotion than one that's stoic. As for having too much power, no such thing, sir. Not in this verse. But that warrants death?
Don't you get it?
No.
If we tell her to step down, then the ones who follow her will force her right back in. She's too powerful to be left alive.
Not necessarily if you broach the subject with her. I grimaced. Sergeant had his reasons, and obviously they were noble to him, but I didn't understand. Rabbit shook her head, tapping her staff on the ground.
Regardless, we can't have you remembering the conversation we had here if we are set on stopping her.
But are you set on stopping her? I took a step back, now afraid. Were they really going to kill me? They sensed my fear and waved their hands wildly.
Whoa! Hey, hold on! We're not gonna hurt you or anything!
Yeah, we're just gonna kill you a little. Come on, baby. Suck it up. That was somewhat of a relief. But what were they going to do? As I took a breath, Shadow spoke up, catching my attention.
I'm curious, human. Do you believe in the succubus?
That is a good question, sir. What? The other rebel leaders looked to Shadow as he placed a hand on his chin in thought and peered into my eyes.
Who do you believe should rule this world? The succubus? Or one of us?
Well, the thing is, I have spent no time with 3 out of 4 of you, and the one I have spent time with should be nowhere near a ruling position. At all. He is way too extreme. So, by process of just who do I know the best, it would have to be Diana. And suddenly I became the focal point of the entire war's resolution. Why was my opinion so important? Because I'm the main character, duh. I looked to the floor, trying to mull over his question and come up with the answer. Diana had saved my life and was going. And was doing everything to make sure I could go back to the human world as safely as possible. Still, from how she was behaving, something was indeed seriously off with her. Was she really ready to take the throne? The 4 rebel demons before me, however, were all smart and balanced each other out in some shape or form, and I could tell that they could all bring peace to the world in some way. But did Diana really have to be eliminated for that to happen? I felt like I was standing on a precipice. I know what that word is, folks. I knew that if I sided with Diana, then she would eventually be eliminated by these 4 unless she found out beforehand. I could warn her, but what if these demons erase my memories or threatened my life? Or Erik's? I was balanced on the edge of a knife and had to pick a direction to fall. I closed my eyes and answered Shadow's question. I believe in all of you, I believe in Diana. Sorry. Honest to a fault, I believe in Diana. Diana had done so much for us, for me. There was no way I could betray her. The 4 in the room stared at me, taking in my reply.
What does a human know?
Sir, screw you.
Well, we did ask.
Exactly. At least you know I'm honest. If not an idiot.
Enough. We need to continue this another time. For now...
Yes? Rabbit lowered her staff and pointed the tip at me, causing me to step back in fear.
Et ex memoria de hoc loca mentem.
Latin time! All at once I felt my head completely fill with white noise, causing me to grip my head and fall to my knees in pain. Ah! I shut my eyes and felt the world spin around me before I relaxed as silence overtook my senses. My body floated for a bit in an empty void before softly landing on a surface, causing me to open my eyes and look around. Huh? What happened? I was in the hallway on the floor. How did I get there? I was on my way to my room. Oh, weird. And if that is not a huge-ass red flag, I don't know what is. I stood up, brushing myself off, and looked around, hoping that no one saw me snoozing on the floor. When I noted that coast was clear, I quickly continued on my way to my room. I must have been more tired than I thought. Yeah, that was all just a bad nightmare, right? I finally reached my room and let my body fall onto the bed. I uttered a sigh of utter pleasure as I felt the cloud-like bed cradle my body on its surface. I was beyond happy. To think this insanity had started with the spirit haunting my body was mind-blowing. How is that even possible? No one would ever believe that, but it happened to me of all people. The same person that has met devils, had 5 incubi stay in her house, had a succubus stay in her house. I mean, I'm just saying, weird is drawn to me. Oh yeah, and my grandfather was a mage. I think by now, I should just embrace the weirdness. Then I was kidnapped and taken to the demon world by the demon lord. Trapped here, unless he or I died. Another crazy improbable event that managed to happen. This entire week had been a wild roller coaster ride of excitement that I would never have expected. True. Still, there was joy to be found in an adventure, and my curiosity thanked destiny for letting me experience it. Now all I wanted to do was get home and marry the man I loved. As Erik finally entered the room at last, I smiled and sat up tiredly. Erik chuckled before sitting beside me, wrapping his arms around me.
Are you all right, Princess?
I don't know. I took a nap on the floor? I think something happened before that, but I'm not sure. Yeah, just tired. We held each other, locked in silence, unable to say anything more. We let the situation we had just gone through sink in, relieved that we were going to be happy from now on together. All we could do in the moment was hold each other and listen to our synchronized heartbeats. As the thought of tomorrow danced in my head, I began to grow fearful. Was I ready to go into battle? Was Erik? Were any of us, for that matter? Yeah, I'm kind of curious what the other wives have been up to. We were about to walk into the final clash of a world war. Would we survive? Would I live to remain with Erik and feel his embrace again? Tomorrow brought too many questions to think about, and I became frustrated and scared. Make love, Erik. I'm just gonna go to sleep, sweetie. Good night. We would survive. We would be okay. I felt safe in Erik's arms, and I'm sure he felt safe in mine. We'd return to the human world and be okay. Erik kissed my forehead, feeling my exhaustion, and we tucked ourselves in, wrapping each other in our arms, and escaping one last time to the darkness of slumber. Tomorrow would decide everything. The day of the siege had finally dawned. We arrived at the Demon Lord's castle, and we were ready as we could be. Many armies bearing different banners and colors washed over the grounds before the castle, ready to rush in and lay waste to the Demon Lord and the remainder of his forces. All of us shared a common enemy, and, upon his demise, would all finally know some form of peace. Even during the roll call of the major generals, the air became full of determination and pride. And I wish they would show us this.
Mirth! Avarice! Nadia! Fiorna! Aradum!
Wait, Avarice is here? And that's a very far callback to the Red Letters campaign, if you get that reference. What is Rosalind's air quote spirit of her spirit warrior half doing here? Each name called became a mark on history. This was the war to bring freedom or destruction to the demon world. If the rebellion didn't win this fight, then this war would never end. If the rebellion won, then the world would become united in a hopefully peaceful rule. The hour before the battle was set to take place, my thoughts instantly ran back to our final meeting in Lilith Castle. Diana had pulled the leaders and us together, instructing us on how exactly to proceed.
Zero, you will be joining Shadow and Sergeant in the front, taking care of the main army head-on. I expect that you will come out of it alive.
Exactly. She needs her boy toy.
Yes, my lady.
Rabbit, Faye, you are in charge of range attacks and defense. We cannot allow any of those blasted imps getting to us from behind.
Exactly. You got this. Protect our butts.
Yes, ma'am.
As Diana looked to me, I grew slightly fearful. I had to get to the Demon Lord's castle, but how exactly had Diana planned on getting me there? I imagined Trebuchet and just being launched.
You and your fiancé will take the side route straight to the castle.
Cool. Wait, huh?
We've organized our army to have our strongest on the front lines and against the tree line, giving us a side route for you to make your way straight to the castle.
Cool, we got this.
If anything trickles into the side route, you'll be able to handle it. However, there is something I must ask of you.
Okay. What is it?
If you are indeed attacked, you need to defend your fiancé the entire way there. Do not let him use his energy.
Okay, I can do that. I had a good night's sleep. Let's go.
Are you out of your mind?
Sweetie, listen to the Queen.
When you get to the castle, I will be fighting one-on-one with the Demon Lord. If something should happen to me, then I need you to take over. She is not ready to fight him, and you need to be at full strength to finish him off.
Gee, thanks for the vote of confidence.
She'll be fine. Don't go doubting her strength just yet.
Thank you, Sergeant! I stared, listening and reaffirming the order. I couldn't lie, I was nervous. However, I was determined enough to see this through. I looked over at my fiancé with a confident smile. I got this. Don't worry. Despite the weird look in his eyes, he nodded and held my hand, trusting me in my decision to agree with Diana's command. Diana rolled her shoulders and looked at the map draped over the war table between us all. Her gaze pierced into the parchment as the aura around her body pulsated in anger.
I will fly ahead and meet the Demon Lord head-on. No matter what happens, I will not allow that monster to live.
You got this, lady. Go get him. The pure determination and anger in her voice practically sent a shiver down my spine. She was set on seeing this through to the end, and I was sure that she was willing to even die if it meant taking the Demon Lord with her. The remaining incubi and wives were asked to stay behind the army and guard the main base, where Rabbit and Faye were stationed. They needed as many eyes as possible in the back of the battle, so the 4 couples were perfect to keep things in check. Oh, it's good to see where the wives are. Cool. As they agreed, the meeting ended and the mental preparation had begun. The idea of the upcoming battle scared me, sending waves of fear and worry up and down my body in response to the thought.
So, my warrior princess, are you ready?
Oh, fuck yeah. Call me Xena, baby. Let's go. I want to say yes, but I'm scared. Erik gave me a comforting smile and gently leaned down and kissed my cheek, wrapping his arms around me softly.
I promise. I will protect you from anything that comes our way.
You better. I listened to him speak before nodding, taking in a deep breath. Everything would be okay. We would be fine. I had to believe in myself and get us through the castle when the time was right. Like a beacon. I actually just saw how far we've been going. I really had hoped to finish it this time, but I don't think we're going to. So when we come back, hopefully the conclusion, that'll hopefully be next time. Until next time, Hero.